Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a shout out to our friends at Frictional and Lurkit for giving me a free Steam code for the game to try it out. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, it is I, Judi. Today we're going to be reviewing the horror game SOMA. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, shall we? SOMA is a sci-fi horror game that puts you in the shoes of Simon, a man who wakes up in a mysterious underwater facility called Pathos 2, searching for answers as he faces numerous threats. This game is a very good example of why you should probably never trust your doctor. As you explore Pathos, you'll notice that something seems very off. The corridors are flooded, the power flickers, and the silence is constantly broken by strange sounds that you really can't place. It's one of those games that grips you right away with its atmosphere. The setting is easily one of SOMA's biggest strengths. You'll explore abandoned laboratories, eerie maintenance tunnels, and some breathtaking deep-sea environments that are both beautiful and very unsettling. Wherever you go, you'll run into horrors of one kind or another, sentient robots that think that they're human, mutated sea life, and corrupted shells of what used to be people. The game loves to keep you in the dark, sometimes literally, so if you are having trouble seeing in dim lighting, you'll probably want to bump up your gamma. Gameplay-wise, SOMA isn't actually too complicated. Most of the time you'll be solving light puzzles, piecing together clues from computer logs or notes, and occasionally sneaking past stalkers that patrol the area. Personally, I wouldn't really call it a very scary game in the traditional sense. It's not about jump scares or constant panic. It's more of a slow burn, narrative-driven experience with horror elements layered on top of it. In fact, the developers even added a safe mode difficulty later on, letting you experience the game without worrying about being hunted. That's a great option for players who just want to soak in the atmosphere and focus on the story. If you have played Amnesia or Penumbra, you'll probably have a very good idea of what to expect here. The storytelling is heavily environmental. You'll find notes, audio logs, and broken terminals that slowly reveal what happened to Pathos 2 and its crew. It is not a long game, maybe about 6 to 8 hours depending on how thorough you are, and it doesn't really offer much replay value. There are not really many achievements either, so it's really a one-and-done kind of experience. That said, for the asking price, or especially during a sale, it is absolutely worth a playthrough. Now let's talk about the sound design, because SOMA absolutely nails it. The ambience is phenomenal. Every hiss of machinery, every distant groan, and every muffled noise in the dark keeps you on edge. Monsters don't really need to jump out at you when you can hear them breathing down the hall. Even when there's nothing there, SOMA has a way of making you think that something is, and that kind of tension is way more effective than any cheap jump scare. You're more safe than you realize, but the developers do not want you to know that, so you'll find that you hear things that make you look over your shoulder quite often. But the real star of SOMA is its story. Without spoiling anything, you play as Simon as he slowly unravels the mystery of Pathos 2 and the world beyond it. You eventually learn that a comet has wiped out most of humanity, and what's left down here are more so fragments of what once was. The story dives into deep questions about consciousness, identity, and what it truly means to be human. It's the kind of narrative that sticks with you long after you've finished, because it forces you to think about uncomfortable possibilities and choices. The writing is strong across the board, though it's not perfect. Some dialogue exchanges can drag on longer than necessary, especially between exploration sections, which can definitely hurt the pacing quite a bit. Still, those conversations do a lot to flesh out the characters and the world, and honestly, I would argue that SOMA isn't really meant to be a pure horror game anyway. It's more of a psychological and philosophical experience wrapped up in a horror setting. The monsters might make you tense, but the story is what really haunts you in the end. Overall, I actually loved my time with SOMA. It's a shorter, slower, and more reflective kind of game. Not one that's actually going to terrify you, but one that is going to stay with you. Between its haunting environments, great sound design, and a thought-provoking story, it's easily one of the most memorable sci-fi games that I've ever played. If you enjoy narrative-driven experiences that make you think long after you shut them down, SOMA is absolutely worth diving into. If you are interested in trying out the game, you should watch the miniseries called Transmissions that Frictional partnered up with Images Films to create on YouTube. They essentially act as a prologue to the main events of the game's story and will likely enhance your experience. I ended up watching them after I had already finished the story, and I was thoroughly impressed and highly recommend that you check them out. Thank you so much for listening to my review. I tried to keep it short and sweet, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know how you guys felt about the game, and I will go ahead and leave a link to the Steam page for you guys down below in the description. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. I will catch you guys next time. Bye!